G'day, my name's Mark McDonald. I'm the Executive Officer with the Livestock Sale Yard Association of Victoria, and I've got Tom Phillips here with me from the Geelong Sale Yards. Today we're just going to do a short video on the electronic eNVD concept that we're undertaking. This is part of a project that we're running on behalf of this state government, looking at the implementation of sheep RFID into the industry, in particular in sale yards. So this is a bit of a sub-project, just looking at the possibility of making a paperless sale yard situation. So that's what we're doing today.
What equipment are we going to use?
When we were asked to do this little trial, we had to look around to see what was available, and unfortunately in Australia at the moment there was no systems to use off the shelf. So we ended up sourcing a company from Europe where they've had sheep RFID and eNVDs for 3 or 4 years. This company is called Litums, and it's essentially a handheld device which is a combination of a PDA, a mobile phone and a scanner, and that scanner can operate off a hand wand as well. And this is a real-time system that's connected with the internet all the time. So that's, I'm sure if we had to use Australian suppliers, if we put a specification out, that most of the major players in the market now would be able to build something similar.
What do we need to do?
It's pretty simple, Tom. There's basically 3 steps. We first assemble the sheep and then we scan them. It's basically creating a mob to be sent to the sale yards or wherever it's going. The second step is to answer the questions relating to the eNVD on this machine, and the third step is that we send it off. And for the sake of this concept, we've created a PDF file which can be emailed off to whoever needs to receive it, but potentially in the future that information could go electronically in a format so it could be fed straight into a database.
Who could do this?
Well, that's an industry decision at the end of the day. The grower could do it. If he had access to this sort of equipment, the grower could do it. The agent could come down and do it as part of his service, helping his clients load information. The truck driver could potentially do it, or it could be a third-party contractor who is providing that sort of service. So it's a pretty simple process. You know, at the end of the day, it'll be an industry decision about how this is done, and probably it may be that all of those parties might be involved.
Pretty broad application.
Yeah, very broad application. Okay, we're starting the first phase of the process now, which is scanning the sheep. So for the purpose of this little trial, we've got a handful of sheep in here in the race. So initially we go to a menu called Manage Mobs, and we're going to create a new mob, which I'm going to call Geelong Sale Yards. Okay, so we've set that mob up. All I have to do now is scan them. So here we go. E-tag. Oh, come on, girls. Okay, so we've set up our mob now. Now that's a pretty laborious way to do it, and if you were loading hundreds of sheep, you want to have a nice long race so that you could just run down the line and scan them as you go. Alternatively, you could set up a panel scanner that could be bought by the agent or a truck driver or a contractor, and you could just run them through the race and that panel scanner could read them. So there are a few ways that we can scan. To say for the purpose of this trial we've just used this hand scanner, but you wouldn't want to be doing this if you had too many sheep. Okay, so we've scanned the sheep, we've got a mob here, so it's now just a matter of creating the electronic eNVD. So I'm going to pretend I'm the agent or the transport party who's providing this service, and Tom's going to be the farmer and going to answer the questions first. So first step, we go in and select the mob that we want to sell or move. So we just select the mob that we just scanned in, which is called Geelong Sales. And that comes up with a screen that gives us a number of questions that are basically off the electronic, off the eNVD. So first question is the stock carrier. Bill Smith. So we put in Bill Smith. License plate.
HFD 627.
Yep, we put that in. And then the destination pick, so that's whether it's going to the sale yards, a feedlot, whatever. So
To the sale yards.
yep, so Geelong sale yards. So we would put that in. Now the way this system's been set up needs some further programming work, but all of those items could essentially be as a pull-down menu. You could have all your sale yards there or all your stock carriers already on the system. Now the final question is time off feed. How long have these sheep been off feed? 8 hours, so we put that in. Okay, now we've basically answered all the questions we need for the electronic MVD. The way this system has been set up, the 7 questions that are on the current MVD about feeding and withholding periods, the producer has already answered those questions on the computer. But if need be and you're a carrier or an agent, we could have another screen there that would basically ask those 7 questions and you would fill them in online. So once that's done, we just hit a button that says create electronic MVD and off it goes. So that will now create this PDF file that we've got here, and essentially it doesn't look the same as the current MVD, but it has the same amount of information on it, plus in the top right hand corner it's got a list of all of the RFIDs. So as I said, this could be sent as a PDF or as an email, or it could be sent as data that could be loaded directly into a database at the sale yards or at the agents. Okay, so we've basically run through the process. It's pretty simple. It's just a matter of scanning the sheep, creating a mob, answering the questions and sending them off. Now they go off on the truck. That information's already been sent out there. It's obvious that if you were doing a lot of sheep, you'd want to have a better system than a hand scanner to record that information. But as it's a proof of concept, it shows how simple it is to do this.
What else could you use this system for?
Well, we've done this trial as if it is going to a sale yard. Potentially anything else you do when you move your sheep off the property could be done. So property to property transfers would work the same way, except the destination pick would be your neighbour, for instance. This system's already set up so that if you've got deaths on farm, for instance, you could scan those dead sheep and send that information to the NLS database. So, and the system also comes with an auto drafter and pedigree type information, so it can do this, but it's mainly designed as an on-farm tool at this stage.
And can be used for other species? Or?
As long as there's a tag in their ear, it can be used for other species, and a lot of the information that we looked at then would apply for cattle, for instance. So if you're a mixed farmer, you could use the same system for cattle, sheep, goats, pigs. As long as they've got those tags in their ears, it can be tailored to do that.
Very good.
Okay, thanks for that. And that's as far as the concept goes. If you want any more information, please contact me on the LSAV website, and I can provide the further information as required.